Y'all, Mikayla Nogueira is getting called out big time on TikTok by many different people for multiple different reasons, okay? And this does all trickle down into Cody, being in rehab and coming out of rehab. And a lot of people are saying that she is using him for views. And I gotta say, y'all know I'm a very opinionated person, but I do feel like when it comes down to this, I am gonna try my hardest to not really give my opinions and just kind of like talk about what's out there and other people's opinions about her, only because I don't want mine to get misconstrued because I don't have a set opinion. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense to you, because I really do feel like when I have a firm opinion, I stand true in that, and that's just my opinion. It is what it is. However, I could kind of see multiple sides of this. I could see the people that are calling her outside, and then I could see Mikayla's side. So therefore, I feel like I'm like in the middle. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, because I don't have a strong set opinion on it, I don't want it to get misconstrued or my words to be, taken and chopped up and like, I don't know. Y'all know that like recently I've said, I'm just like, oh, Mikayla Nogueira, like, I don't know, she really has been rubbing me the wrong way. I can see why people are calling her out, because there has been many people that have shared their sobriety journeys and said that it is, wrong of her to get out there and speak on Cody's behalf and share his story, because it is his story. But then I also do think, and I'm just putting myself into that like situation, if I was married to somebody who was a recovering addict and then relapsed, I would think that that would be my story to tell as well too, because this is a person that I married and I'm sharing a life with this person, and their choices, their hardships are also going to become my hardships too. So therefore it does become my story as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So this is where I say, when people are calling her out over here for speaking out about the situation, and that's totally wrong of her to do, I'm kind of like, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that, because I do feel like it does become her story as well too. And that's where I'm just kind of like, damn, I feel like it is a tricky situation. People have many different opinions. Also, a lot of people are having opinions right now, because I haven't talked about this, but if you guys saw on Patreon, I did talk about obviously my thoughts and opinions of her, doing her get ready with me while talking about, Cody going through rehab and relapsing and all that stuff. I obviously did have some hot takes, and that's why I was like, let me keep it on the Patreon, because that's just that's my family over there. Okay. I feel like over here, we do have some haters that do watch sometimes and do like to throw hate on me and misconstrue my words. So I was like, let me keep it over there. However, I do have to say, when it comes down to her, speaking out about him and like using the situation for content, I do understand how people can believe that, because right after I made that video, she did a get ready with me to go visit my husband in rehab, which I was just kind of like, okay, girl, that's going to come across wrong. Do you know what I mean? But I guess maybe that's her way of like seeming, I don't know, relatable and vulnerable. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I kind of was like, oh, I don't know if I would have done that. You know what I mean? But obviously, her doing Get Ready With Me is her thing. That's just what she does. That's what a lot of the beauty influencers do now, is just quick little Get Ready With Me's. You know what I'm saying? Today, we are going to be talking about the ring situation. Okay, if you guys have not heard about this, I guess a company had reached out to her to send her a ring, and a lot of people have thoughts and opinions about this. I have to say, because I'm not a woman and because I am not a materialistic type of person, I don't really have a set opinion on this, okay? And I know that a lot of women switch out their rings. However, I do understand people's points. I will be playing some TikToks within today's video of people speaking out about this situation, because I am really curious of your guys' opinion on this. And I do obviously know that the majority of my audience is female, so that's why I'm super curious, because coming from me, like, I don't really like jewelry on my hands. Like, y'all, I wear an Apple Watch when I work out, obviously just to like track my, calories burned and steps and things like that. But I take that shit off right away. I don't ever wear rings on my hands. I feel like I'm that type of person. If I were to ever get married, which Lord knows I'm not going to, but if I ever do, I would probably get like a tattoo of the person's like initials on my ring finger, because I just don't like jewelry on my hands, and it's really weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even like necklaces, so it is really weird that I do. Oh my god, my chair just gave out right now, y'all. Oh my god, I just dropped an inch. Anyway, so this is where I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't really have a set opinion on this. You guys will obviously see that in a second. I do want to talk about something beforehand, because she is getting called out for this situation right here, which, this is where I say, y'all know that I am like really slowly becoming like anti Mikayla Nogueira. First of all, it's with her lies and then her manipulation. And then I feel like she really like is in this whole moment of victimizing herself. So I really am starting to see a whole lot of negative within her. However, situations like this, it pisses me off, because I feel like people are really, really ignorant and calling her out for the wrong things. And I just feel like it's dumb, okay? So I'm going to show you guys this picture that was like floating around like Twitter and Reddit and like going viral, of like so many people commenting on this, because they were saying, oh my god, like, can you guys believe how fake Mikayla Nogueira is? Because she took a picture, like a family picture, I guess, And you guys can see in this picture right here to where this person is holding the baby, and then you'll see Mikayla Nogueira holding the baby. They're alleging that she edited the size of the baby to make the baby bigger to make her look smaller. And this is where I have to say, you have got to be so far stupid to not realize the woman in the was it a dandelion dress or sunflower dress is way taller, and I'm not trying to be rude, but bigger than Mikayla Nogueira. So of course the baby is going to look smaller in her arms and look bigger in Mikayla Nogueira's arms, okay? You guys can see this side by side right here that they even put that. I'm like, okay, like this woman is bigger than Mikayla Nogueira. This is where I'm saying, like, this is where you start to lose it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like people should obviously be calling out Mikayla Nogueira for like her lies and for her, victimization and the things that she does and her mass manipulation. Call her out for things like that. But people are on this whole train of like, oh my gosh, she's editing a baby to look bigger. And I'm like, literally look at the family picture and you could clearly see the size difference of this woman with the jean jacket and the dress on compared to Mikayla Nogueira. She is way taller, and like I said, I am not trying to be rude, but she is obviously bigger, you know what I mean, like wider than Mikayla. So I'm like, how dumb do you have to be? And this is where I'm like, it's people like this that I feel like make Mikayla Nogueira valid in her points of being like, oh, all I do is have haters, and anybody that speaks out about her is a hater. And I'm like, no, people actually have valid concerns of you being a, manipulator and you being a liar and like you mass manipulating your audience. Like things like that, I feel like she obviously so easily can shun now because of stupid shit like this, where people are really believing that she edited the size of the baby. And I'm like, she is so clearly smaller than this woman holding the baby. That things like that get me triggered because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are really making it seem in her head like, oh yeah, anybody that calls her out now is just, dramatic and problematic and a hater. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Like, y'all know, like, when it comes down to me, when I first started talking about Mikayla, I actually really liked her. Like, I really did enjoy her content straight up. I was like, she's entertaining. She does her makeup good. Like, I feel like she is a really captivating content creator, and I do like her stuff. But then when I started to notice, damn, like, she lies more than Jaclyn Hill, which, by the way, kudos to Jaclyn Hill. Shout out to Jaclyn Hill, because I feel like she is living her life and doing so good and staying out of drama. Like, good for her. I feel like she really is learning from her things. But y'all know, like, when it came down to the beauty stuff, everyone was like, damn, Jaclyn Hill is a compulsive liar. Mikayla is the new Jaclyn Hill when it comes down to like just constantly lying. So that's where I say it sucks that people come out with shit like this, because then in Mikayla's head, she's like, oh, everyone's just a hater. And it's like, nah, girl, you're a liar. And that's real. You know what I'm saying? This stuff right here, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like, can y'all imagine me? Y'all, I am 6'2", 250 pounds. Imagine me holding a baby and then somebody who I think Mikayla is like 4'11", okay? So imagine me holding the baby and then imagine her holding the baby. The baby's going to look way bigger in her arms than in my arms because obviously the body comparison. Shit like that, I'm sorry. It does get me like a little bit triggered because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are calling her out for the dumb shit. And I'm like, this going viral on freaking Reddit and on Twitter too. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's people like you that are really messing shit up, because when people have very valid complaints, obviously to her, it's just, oh, everyone's a hater. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, sorry I went off on a tangent there, but I'm just like, oh, that shit pisses me off because I'm like, how could you be so dumb? Like, anybody could look at that group picture and see that she is way smaller than the girl. Like, so dumb. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this ring situation right here, because people are calling her out for this, okay? And I do want to explain this, okay? So the brand had hit her up and said, like, I guess because she hadn't been able to wear her rings recently because she was a little bit more chunky when she initially got her rings, and then now they don't fit, okay? So here's the thing about this, okay? Apparently, allegedly, supposedly, because I don't really know, Cody sold his truck to purchase her wedding ring, and now she already switched it out. And I want to say that they've only been married for 2 years now. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it's like about to be 2 years, maybe even 3, but less than 3. Okay. And she switched out the ring because this company hit her up, I guess, to like work with her. And a lot of people are saying, damn, that's messed up. Like, Cody sold his truck to get you this ring, and she switched it really, really fast, which I could understand, obviously, because a lot of people take their wedding ring super sentimental. Like, y'all, my mom has got a new wedding ring. Obviously, my dad repurchased her one after many years, but my dad still has their wedding ring from 36 years ago, and he still wears this damn thing, and it is so beat up. Like, this ring, y'all, like, the front of it, like, has diamonds on it, and, like, 2 of the diamonds are missing, so it just looks like 2 little black holes on there, and I'm like, he will not get rid of it. And my mom's like, okay, like, let's even, like, add 2 little diamonds in there to replace it. He's like, no, like, this is the character, this is is what happened with it throughout the years. And to him, it's very sentimental that he's had it this long. And the shit is beat up, y'all. Like, it's really beat up. So I do understand that people, take things like that very, very sentimental. And it is kind of sad, low-key, if he did sell his truck and then she swapped it out. But I do want to go ahead and play a couple of these TikToks right here so you guys can actually like check it out to see what people are saying. And I'm so curious to know your guys' thoughts and opinions about this. So check it out.
My dream wedding rings.
We're seeing in real time how money does absolutely 100% change a person. This was the ring that Cody sold his truck for. She used the excuse for a long time, the rings never fit, her fingers were too small now because obviously she lost weight. And instead of resizing the ring, she chose to ditch it and get a whole new ring with no meaning behind it. This one came from Cody's heart. It was what he could afford. He sold his vehicle for it. He worked hard for it. And all of that means absolutely nothing now. Why couldn't she resize the ring? Who knows? I think she just wanted a different ring. The ring that Cody got her was not her dream ring. She wasn't a fan of it, but she, was like, hey, I love you, I'll wear it. And then just used the excuse that, oh, these rings no longer fit me, so we need a brand new one. And Cody just looks so sad. The last thing I would be doing with my husband that just got out of a recovery center is film a video with him replacing the wedding ring that he got me with a new one. There are moments in the video where he is smiling and he looks happy, but when he goes into a straight, relaxed face, his lips are pursed. He looks miserable. Maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I do not see them lasting much longer.
Actually, after checking out that first one, I do have a couple things to say. As you guys can see from the first girl, she was saying, oh my gosh, like looking at her husband, he does look really sad. And I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Ever since I seen Cody on her TikToks before, I do feel like he is that person who doesn't show a lot of personality. I don't think that he wants to be on social media so much, and I don't think that he has that social media personality. Like, if you guys were to meet my bestie on camera, you guys would be like, how are you besties with her? Because she gets camera shy and she gets nervous and she's like, okay, I don't know what to say or do. Like, this is so awkward to some people. Obviously, like, people like me, it's very natural. Like, I'm talking to my friend right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my head, I know you guys are watching. You know what I mean? As to where other people, they're like, it's just a camera right here. And I think Cody's like that, okay? So she was sitting over here saying like, oh, she feels bad for Cody. And it kind of seems like he's being forced to do this. And obviously, when you do take into consideration that he just got back from rehab, like she's throwing him on camera, maybe that's not a good thing because maybe he's not comfortable with it. But then obviously she does bring up the ring thing. The second one that I want to show you guys, the girl is going a little bit more into depth and talking about like, wow, money has really changed Mikayla because the first ring is so drastically different to the second ring. There is a whole lot of people that are saying, okay, like everyone's making a big deal about this whole entire situation because obviously everyone does switch out their ring. Women do say, you know what, I want a different ring or I no longer like this one. And I do think this is where obviously everybody's opinions differ because I think that there are some people out there who are very materialistic and they want to like change their ring periodically. And then there are people out there who are very sentimental and are like, no, this is the ring that my man got me and I'm going to stay with this ring forever. So that's where you just have two different opinions. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm like, I can't really comment on that because I just feel like, hey, if she wants to switch out a ring, okay. But then also I'm like, wait, like if he really sold his truck for this ring, y'all, I am just saying, if I ever met a man who like sold something to get me something, I'm going to cherish that shit forever, okay? So maybe I am a little bit more on the sentimental side, you know what I mean? Because I do think like, oh my gosh, like that's like a lot of effort. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I get both sides of this because I do know several people like, y'all, my mom has went through 2 rings and she already wants, well, not already wants, they've been married for 36 years. So I get it. You know what I mean? Of people wanting different rings. And also my bestie, I'm sure she's that type of person too that I feel like she has a bomb ass ring, but I feel like in a couple years she may even want a different one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I get both sides of it. I totally do. Check out this other TikTok right here.
Watching this, I just felt really bad for her husband. Like, it made me really sad. He just gets out of rehab. He's trying to get better. He's trying to improve herself. She gets him on camera and she goes, a company sent me new wedding rings. They're my dream wedding rings. So I guess the ones he gave her weren't good enough. The ones that he sold his truck to get for her weren't good enough. They weren't her dream ring. And now we're gonna like unbox my dream wedding rings that this company gave me. And he just had to sit there and do the video with her. Like fresh out of rehab. And like, I don't know about you, but I think like if it was just a ring, it would be different. But she's like, I have a new wedding ring now. And it's not even from him. Like, it's supposed to be a thing about your relationship, right? I'm sure I'm going to get hate. I'm sure y'all are going to be like, oh, you're hating on her. Let her do what she wants. You can do whatever you want. You can have 5 rings. I don't care. I just felt really bad for her husband in this moment. I felt like it kind of was like a, you're not good enough. What you did for me wasn't good enough. If it was any other ring, if it was just like a fun ring, I totally get it. But just the fact that she was replacing the wedding ring and engagement ring that he got for her right when he got out of rehab, that made me angry.
So there you guys heard that second girl right there's point of view. And yeah, I definitely can see that they do have some points. Both of those videos went viral. I do have to say the comments are 50-50 of people saying, oh my gosh, you're blowing this out of proportion. People get new rings all the time. And then the other half are saying like, oh, that's so shady. She's so materialistic. How could she do that? The poor guy sold his truck. You know what I'm saying? So I get both sides of it. I really do. I do think though, look, obviously I've never been married. Isn't it kind of soon to change out your ring? You know what I mean? Like, I want to say that my dad got my mom a new ring after like 15 years of being together, and like they've been together for 36, so she's had that new one. I don't know, y'all do the math on that, for like X amount of more years. So I'm like, okay, like I'm kind of like, okay, isn't that soon to get a new ring? But regardless, look, I gotta say this, okay? Coming from a content creator's perspective, if a jeweler hits you up to give you a free ring, and y'all, that shit was a rock, okay? This is me just having a content creator's mindset here. If somebody had hit you up and said, hey, I'm gonna hook you up with a free diamond, aren't you gonna take it? Aren't you gonna take it? You know what I'm saying? Maybe on a daily basis, she's not gonna wear that big ass ring because it's so flashy. And like, y'all, let's just go ahead and say this day and age, the climate is really hot. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, as in like, people are gonna rob your ass. So I'm just kind of like, would you really wanna wear that out there? You know what I mean? I don't know how things are in Boston, but like over here in LA, I'm like, whoo, you'll run a risk of getting jacked. You know what I'm saying? So maybe on a daily basis, she may have that other one resized that Cody had got her. And maybe she just has this other one. Like, I don't know if you guys have heard before, but Kim Kardashian supposedly after getting like robbed, I know that she's obviously like divorced from Kanye now, but like in that whole time being, like, she would wear a fake ring. She wouldn't wear the real one, and she would like lock it up. So I'm kind of like, maybe she does that too. Do you know what I mean? Because I gotta say, from a content creator's like perspective, like, I am so sorry, just keeping it real with you guys. If I was married and, you know, my man got me a ring and I like that ring, but then a company had hit me up to like give me a free ring, I'm gonna take that. Because I don't know shit about rings, but I feel like that was probably like 30 grand. You know what I mean? Maybe even more, like probably even 50 grand. Like, y'all, that rock look huge, you know? So that's why I'm just kind of like, if you're a content creator, like, aren't you gonna take that ring just because, what the hell, I'm gonna get this diamond that's like worth 50 grand. Literally just speculating here. I don't know shit about rings, okay? But aren't you gonna take it? You know what I mean? Like, it's free. I don't know. That's just me and my thought process on it. So maybe everybody is really thinking in too far into it, and maybe she is keeping the ring separate. I don't know. I'm so sorry this video is so damn long, y'all. Y'all already know when it comes down to Mikayla, like, woof, I'd be rambling for days. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.